Guys, this should be my City Skyline 2 review. I've had the game for a good 10 days now or so, and I've had access to the build that's coming out next week. Well, pretty much that build. And this should be a really joyous review, but it's not. I'm quite dejected because I love City Skylines. I love city builders, and City Skylines is the king of them. It still is. City Skyline 2 was going to be just this amazing upgrade from what we've had for so many years, and indeed it pretty much is that upgrade in a lot of ways. Some ways it just isn't, like for example I couldn't bring in tornadoes and disasters wherever I wanted like you can in the first one, which was a bit shit, to be honest. But there's so many quality of life changes in City Skylines 2. It just looks fantastic as well. So it's a huge upgrade from the first one. Unfortunately, it doesn't fucking work. It's unplayable for me. Now, let's go into the system specs. I'm running an i9 9900 3.6 gigahertz. I've got an M2 SSD. I've got an MSI RTX 2080 Duke, which I know is an old card, but it's one of the better 2080 cards. Not far off a 3070, to be honest with you. It's up there. I did a recent poll on my channel, and we had thousands of people putting in what graphics cards they had, and mine is around about the middle of what most people are actually using. Obviously there's a lot of people got the high-end stuff, but most people don't. Most people are running the 3070s, 3080 side, and the 2080s in that kind of bracket. So, you know, having a game that'll only work on cutting-edge systems is not a good business move at all. I also have 32 gig of Corsair Vengeance DDR4 system memory. So the minimum specs for this game are an i7 6700K, 8 gigabytes of system memory, and a GTX 970 4 gig version. And I can tell you now, hell no. Not from what I've seen. That's just no chance. You got no chance with that. Don't even turn up with that. Recommended specs are an i5 12600K and a 3080 RTX with 10 gig on it and 16 gigabytes of system memory. And I can tell you now, from having privy to all the other reviewers and their feedback and their system specs and what they've been saying, hell no again for that one. I believe PC Gamer were running a 4070, and they were struggling at 30 frames a second with frame drops. That's what we're talking about here. Now, there was some advice on things to turn off. Basically, we were told to have the game running at 1080p, right, on low, and turn off volumetric fog or whatever it was, loads of settings, turn them off completely, and that should work. Well, I'm sorry, but that's not how I want to play my games. I want to play my games with stuff turned on to see the glory of it, and you can't in this game. Unless you have absolutely state-of-the-art rig. And even then, it's not right. It's not the hardware's fault, it's the optimization. It's been admitted by the developers. The CEO of Colossal Order has come on and made a video about it, apologizing for it, and saying that we're going to work over the coming months to fix this, but they're still releasing the game anyway. And it just feels like, it reminds me of when Elden Ring dropped, and it just wouldn't work for me. It's not as bad as what Elden Ring was, because Elden Ring literally wouldn't work. At least this works for me. It's just no fun. And I've decided that I'm going to wait till it's actually fixed before I actually review this game, because it's a game I really love to play, and I was just getting more and more frustrated. If I zoom in, I have to wait because I'll get a massive frame drop. If I dare to try and pan around reasonably fast, it's frame drop, stutter, and it's just, you'll go flying past where you want to be because you're still inputting move right, say for example, and the game is moving right, it just hasn't caught up yet because it's got a big massive frame drop, and then you found you've gone like 16 fucking blocks past where you want it to be, so it's just, you cannot play like that. And that's on 1080p low settings with pretty much everything turned off. That's not acceptable at all. Should never have been released, and I can't believe it's not even in early access. The first game I played, I just started to place everything down to see what the performance was like, and just get through the tutorial, and I just found that it was just a nightmare to play. So what I did was I went into creative mode, give myself unlimited money, put all the disasters on and everything like that, hoping to just build up a city fast to about 20,000 people and see what kind of performance I was getting. I did that, but I never got any disasters, and I couldn't turn the disasters on. I had one forest fire that I couldn't find. So it was a bit disappointing that you don't have a toggle to just switch them things on. But so much more in the game is better than it used to be. The industrial areas look fantastic with all the smog coming out of the factories. It just looks so atmospheric. Even on low, this is all the graphics you're seeing. These are on low with pretty much everything turned off. So you can imagine it looks, I mean, I think it looks good on this, but with everything turned on, it looks a lot better. There is a few graphical anomalies, though, that was going on when I was playing this. But I don't want to get into this as a review. That's not what this video is. I haven't reviewed the game. I will be doing that probably next year. What I will say is there's no Steam Workshop for this. And Steam Workshop was a huge part of City Skylines 1. It's now the Paradox Workshop or something that they're bringing out, where all the mods are going to be. And they said they're doing that because consoles are going to have access to the mods, whereas they can't access them on the Steam Workshop, because obviously Steam's for PCs and not consoles. So they're putting everything on it makes sense. They're putting it all on the Paradox Workshop, but I still think they should have allowed the Steam Workshop for the PCs. I'm hoping that it's not because they're going to sell mods in the future. I don't know. I just, you know how it is these days. But I think that's another mistake that they've done. So to sum up, the game shouldn't have been released, in my opinion, in this state. What they should have done, they should have waited for the console release, which is next year. That would have given them another 4 to 6 months to fix this and then release it all together. That's what I would have done. I think that would have been a much better business move. So there you go, guys. City Skylines 2 is a huge disappointment. Not the game. The game looks great. Going through the tutorial, seeing all the changes, felt great. It's gone in totally the right direction for a City Skylines game. I can't wait to play it. It's just doesn't work. It might have 16 times the detail, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Not on low-end machines. Mid to low-end machines, you're going to have an absolute hell playing this game. Damn.